Continue our team coverage on the explosion at the South Fork Dairy Plant in Dimmitt. News Channel 10's Kelsey Davis joins us in the studio with an update. Kelsey.
Greg, we know the case is under investigation by the Texas State Fire Marshal. Roger Malone, the mayor of Dimmitt, told us we are grateful for our volunteer firefighters. When we need them, they show up. Mayor Malone says firefighters rescued one person who was in the building at the time of the fire. Castro County Sheriff Sal Rivera says the plant has about 60 employees in Dimmitt. Rivera says this was the largest fire he has ever seen.
It was pretty big because part of the investigation still is to see what caused it to get so big, and possibly the insulation in the building must have, probably caught fire. So, but that's still to be determined.
We are in contact with Lubbock University Medical Center Vice President Aaron Davis, who tells me one person is in critical condition. On the news at 10, the sheriff gives us insight on why so many cattle were lost in the fire. News Channel 10's Kylie Frazier has been following the environmental impact of this fire. Kylie.
This was Monday night in Dimmitt after a fire and explosion rocked the city and area around Dimmitt. The explosion, causing a massive fire and smoke plume, took responders hours to bring it under control. Tonight, we have News Channel 10 team coverage as we dig deeper into the cause and reaction to the devastation at the South Fork Dairy. News Channel 10 City Batzloff and our team have been in Dimmitt much of the day and joins us live now. We begin with Sydney. You learned new developments tonight, Sydney?
I did. Since 5, we've learned from UMC Hospital in Lubbock the worker critically injured in the explosion is a woman. Now, we've had crews out here since last night after the explosion happened and all day today, trying to understand what exactly happened. What you're seeing behind me right now is what remains. We spoke with the Castro County Sheriff, who tells us the entire building may have damage, but the extent of it is still under investigation. Now, that's the case with a lot of things from this incident. It's all still under investigation, so details remain limited. I do want to walk you through what we know so far. We do know this all started last night around 7:30. That's when the Castro County Sheriff's Office received multiple calls about an explosion and fire at the dairy farm. Then more calls came in saying some employees were trapped inside a building. Once officials arrived, they found only one person was inside, which was the woman I told you about. Fire officials found her, got her out, then she was flown to the hospital for further treatment. Again, at last check, that woman remains in critical condition. The fire did spread to where cattle is held. We have learned around 18,000 cattle died. Now, the cause is still under investigation. The sheriff tells us it was probably from a vacuum machine overheating, then methane igniting, which spread and exploded, causing a fire. Again, that is under investigation. The sheriff says that is from speculation. We're still trying to piece together what exactly happened in this explosion. I'm going to send things back to you all in the studio to learn even more. But for now, reporting live in Dimmitt, Sydney Batzloff, News Channel 10.
Kylie, I heard the noise from this thing was extremely hard to miss. We've been in town all afternoon talking to those who heard and even witnessed this sad, catastrophic event. Here's what they had to say.
And we look up, we're inside, and we go out and we look through the window, and we just see clouds. And it was like an explosion, and the whole thing was on fire. There was, I don't know, it was crazy.
At 10, we will continue to reach out to more community members and bring you their thoughts and their reactions to this horrible, horrible tragedy. Devin Darmstetter, News Channel 10. Back to you all in the studio.
At this time, we know upwards of 18,000 cattle died in this incident. Surviving cattle have been moved to a separate facility that has the same owners. We spoke with Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, who has crews out on the scene trying to assess the damage. They arrived at 9:30 this morning and are assisting the dairy owner with carcass disposal and debris issues. The fire from the explosion spread to the building where they haul cattle before bringing them into the milking area, into a holding pen. Because of this, Sheriff Rivera says only a small percentage of the cows survived.
And your count probably is close to that. There's some that survived but there's some that are still, probably injured to the point where they probably will have to be destroyed.
A member of the Animal Welfare Institute, which tracks barn fires nationwide, reports this is the deadliest barn fire for cattle overall and the most devastating barn fire in Texas since they started tracking in 2013. They issued a statement which says, quote, "We hope the industry will remain focused on this issue and strongly encourage farms to adopt common sense fire safety measures. It is hard to imagine anything worse than being burned alive." News Channel 10's Devin Darmstetter is in Dimmitt. She's been finding reactions on the fire and explosion and joins us live.